This is Season 7, Episode 131 of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast.
Sometimes the important thing is not the number of miles you've driven, but what's going on inside your head while driving. The Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast will stimulate your mind and keep you company while on the road. Join us for education, motivation, and inspiration from wherever you may be in our nation. You'll hear roundtable discussions about important information that's impacting our industry. Plus, you'll learn more about new technology, equipment, driving opportunities, safety, and operations. Get driver success and fitness tips to keep you profitable, safe, healthy, as well as entertaining stories from the road. And don't you know, we've all got a few of those. We might be traveling in different directions, but we're all part of one driver community at the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. With your host, trucker Tim Cicciarelli.
Well, hello, friends, and welcome to what I think is a very special episode of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. Tim Cicciarelli here, otherwise known as Trucker Tim. And why is it special? Well, it's special to me because I'm recording this at Stevens Transport. And usually a lot of these recordings are done in my studio. And I come out to Stevens Transport 3-4 times a year, and we kind of batch record a lot of interviews, and then we find the appropriate time in the year to play them back for you, our friends on the other side of the speakers. But as we kick off today's episode, we've got a lot of interesting segments for you to listen to keep you company, keep you educated while you're out there on the road. And they're all segments that were recorded this week. But at the time of this recording, it is Friday. It's the end of the week. And I wanted to take this time to acknowledge and thank Paula Evans in marketing and media because, you know, you hear my voice here a lot of times. And a lot of people know Paula here inside the building at Stevens Transport. Paula, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Tim. It's always a great time to be here and be with you and hang out.
Yeah, we hang out throughout the week, but we work when I'm here. But I tell you, Paula, she really keeps me rolling because Paula is the one that schedules all of the interviews for me while I'm here at Stevens Transport to, like I said, batch a whole season's worth of segments. But we're taking over Paula's office to do this recording, and so thank you for that. We kicked her out of her desk, and I'm back here. But also, Paula is just so fun to be around, and we have a great time together with all of our guests. So thank you for that. We had a good time. We did some interesting things, too.
It was great. My space is your space. We get a lot done, and if you don't love what you're doing, then why are you doing it, right? So it really does feel like we're hanging out, but I know that we covered so many topics on so many new levels and got to speak to some new people and let their light shine and really get to know some new faces and new personalities. I couldn't love it more. This has been a fantastic week.
It has, and we added some new segments to Season 7, our Legend series, and also the Journey to a Million Miles. So a lot of things to look forward to starting next week with those new segments. Also, we had a chance to speak to an orientation class, which was a lot of fun with John Tabatama as well. So thank you for inviting me up there to talk to the drivers. That was cool.
That's the best time. It was probably for them like a Christmas treat because so many of our new coming in students have said time and time again, I really listened to the podcast. I wanted to know more about Stevens Transport before I came here. And that is such a wonderful thing to hear, to know we've got these drivers coming in and really learning about what Stevens Transport can do for them. And podcast is just another great tool.
It's a great tool. It's an intimate tool. We're in their ears while they're doing their research. And then for those that do decide to make Stevens Transport their home for their career, then ongoing topics that we have to keep them educated and informed in real time what's going on with the podcast. So Paula, thanks for a great week. Always great to hang out with you and wonderful to work with you face to face. And let's go ahead and kick off this episode. And I want you to say it this time. Take it away, Paula.
Well, let's kick it off with our Stevens Roundtable.
The reason we kick off every episode with this segment is to keep you, our drivers, our employees, our staff, our colleagues, our friends, informed as to what's happening at Stevens in real time. And our guest today is Director of Customer Service, Wendy Stinson. Hey, Wendy, good to see you again.
Hi, good to see you.
You are so busy, and especially this week, I know. And so I really am grateful that you took time to be with us today. And at the time of this recording, It's the middle of January, and the weather is bananas, especially in the South.
Yes.
From Texas all the way through, which we know is disrupting a lot of our drivers and a lot of our customers in receiving their freight, right?
It is.
So what's happening now? What can you say to our customers and or our drivers, whomever you speak with? What's going on right now this week with all the craziness?
Obviously, safety is priority. Mm-hmm. During the winter, during the bad weather, we have to be mindful of our drivers, the general public, and the safety of the integrity of the product on the trailer. So though we may want to rush and the customers are like, where's my product? Where's my product? It needs to be in Arizona. However, we have to be mindful it's coming from Mississippi and there's weather right now. So, rush, yes. So what we try to do in the customer service team is get ahead of it. Let our customers know, hey, there's weather. Is there a potential to reroute these drivers to go around to be more safe? May delay the product getting to you, but it's going to get there safely. We always want to be mindful of the drivers specifically. They may be uncomfortable driving in it, so we're very mindful of that. As a team, as an operations team, we all work together, from safety to the driver managers, to the planning team, to customer service. We communicate to sales. We communicate with our customers all the time on the shutdowns and just keeping them in the loop. Proactive communication is the priority. As long as
proactive communication, being ahead of it. Yes. Yeah.
So that's what we do. It's so important, from communicating from the drivers to the team. We're relying on them. Are you going to be able to roll? Are you shutting down? Whatever that looks like for you, communicate it. That is the most important part. So we can keep them in the loop, and then they're happy. Obviously,
all the mystery's taken out.
Yes.
I don't think somebody's dropping the ball.
Exactly.
They all know that Stevens Transport always goes above and beyond.
Absolutely.
Anyway. But that extra touch point really comes in handy right about now in particular.
Absolutely. I mean, again, they're looking for the communication. They're looking for a heads up. Mm-hmm. They don't want us to tell them after the fact. And that's what we try to get away from, with everybody. And it starts with the drivers, just letting us know, hey, I can't move. I'm not comfortable. Or maybe you want to, I'm not comfortable, but maybe someone else might be. You know what I mean? If it's not a company shutdown.
That's an option then.
Yeah. So definitely just communication. That's the most important thing. And if we can communicate to our customers and to our sales partners, that's where we're winning.
And the way they do that is to communicate that with their driver managers.
Absolutely.
And so, but it might not just be, I'm not comfortable driving in these conditions. A lot of these roads and some of the interstates are shut down. So it's beyond their control right now.
Absolutely.
So that's incumbent upon you or our sales representatives to communicate with our customers. How does that work? How does that communication?
That's the customer service team as a group. We are in constant communication with them. So it's not like it's new. We're not strangers to them.
Right.
They're our friends. We're holding.
They know we want to serve them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they know we do. So when times like this happen, it's our job to share the friendship, make sure they're in the loop. Again, it comes back to letting them know ahead of time rather than after the fact is what they're looking for. We're not the only carrier that's having travel issues with the weather. So it's important to remember communication is key at this point.
Well, again, the Stevens Roundtable is designed to give you timely information, and that is what's happening in real time as we speak. Director of Customer Service, Wendy Stinson, thank you so much for keeping us in the loop.
Thank you so much.
Excited to have this gentleman back on the podcast. He's an old pro. I mean, he walks in here, he knows how to put the headphones on, he gets up to the microphone. He's done it many, many times. I think he might start his own podcast. He's that good. We're welcoming in independent contractor DMOL, Mr. Matt Witt. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. Thanks for making me blush.
You know what he did? He came in and he heard his voice in the mic and he got even closer. I mean, you really do sound good on here. You're vying for my job, aren't you, Matt?
Thank you. I just like to hear myself talk. I don't know.
I think a lot of people like to hear you talk with what you do. Your department down there seems like a close-knit group. This is the first time we've seen each other here in 2025. So tell us what you got planned. What's going on down there? And any changes since the last time we spoke during Driver Appreciation Week in 2024?
It's been a busy year so far, but that's what we like.
Mm-hmm.
New changes. I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit of DM training, some operations training that, we've kind of started a little bit at the tail end of 2024. But
I think you alluded to that last time we spoke, and those changes have been implemented.
We're really taking off. I mean, for example, I mentioned, I think last time we do a monthly DM training, but we're starting to co-collaborate with other operations departments. All right.
So let's go back to the once a month DM training. So this isn't just for new hires. Is this something that everybody's invited to sharpen their skills as driver managers?
Yes, sir. We have it once a month. And what I've started doing is bringing in guest speakers from other departments so we can actually share our grievances, how we depend on each other, what we can do differently, how we can better collaborate. And the whole idea is really just to sharpen and refresh the DMs on their skill set. But at the same time, with us collaborating now with other departments, we get to see a side of like planning, customer service, and we get to hear what they have to say in order to better the operation for everybody. The end goal of this all is to essentially get everybody developed to be an A player.
Yeah.
And once you have that collaboration and we sync up as an operations department even better than we already are, I believe that is just going to make the driver's experience that much better.
Well, like you said, by bringing people in from other departments at these monthly meetings, that gives your driver managers an opportunity to learn what they're dealing with and how what they as driver managers are doing affects them to help their job. It's just communication. That's good leadership right there, Matt. That's great. Are you seeing results already from the drivers understanding more of what needs to be done through their driver managers because of that understanding?
I do see progress, and here's what I enjoy about the training, right? I like it when I have aha moments with my people.
Yeah.
Even though they are refreshers, sometimes we learn new stuff. Sometimes we revisit old stuff.
Need some reminders, yeah.
But I like to see that people get something out of these discussions, out of these trainings. For instance, I brought in someone from planning and customer service in for one of my sessions yesterday, and it was just great to hear the other perspective, right? It's a different perspective because we're busy. I mean, this place is hopping and we operate off of a stopwatch. We don't operate off of a calendar. So we're always moving and shaking. And so it's nice to hear that outside perspective from other departments because we don't know what they go through. We know a little bit. And then vice versa. We get to share with them, you're like, hey, this is kind of what we're struggling with. This is what we'd like to see. And rather than just everyone kind of operating from their desks, sending emails back and forth, we actually get to talk person to person and make changes. And I think that, Lauren started all this and we're continuing. And it's just overall, it's good for employee development. And it's not only just helps with, driver retention by making their experience better, but our people, our operations people, I think when you have them in trainings like this, they feel valued. They feel like their management cares enough to say, hey, let's take an hour out of your day. Let's revisit some of this stuff. Let's sharpen your skill set. Because at the end of the day, man, like my job is to make my people better. I don't run this operation by myself. I depend on my people and I want them to leave here taking pride in their work, knowing that they had a successful day, knowing that they do a good job and knowing that their drivers are taken care of. At the end of the day, I tell the drivers all the time, your success is my success. And that may sound like some corporate jargon that we use all the time, but it's true.
It's true.
I come into work every day and as long as my drivers are productive, they're safe, they're making money, they know that they're valued on the road. My people are going to feel valued. I'm going to feel valued. And I know at the end of the day, walking out of here, I put in a good, honest day's work and I'm contributing that much more to Stevens and making everybody's experience better.
Matt, you sound like somebody anybody would want to work for. And I say that because this podcast is designed to recruit and retain, not just drivers, but people inside the building, right? So let's talk about becoming a driver manager. This podcast is listed under the jobs and careers category.
Okay.
And so how does one become a driver manager? I've interviewed several driver managers throughout the last 7 seasons, and not all of them have been drivers before.
We look at many different things. I hold a lot of the interviews along with my colleagues, but I'm looking for someone with, some drive, some giddy up to them, someone that can multitask, someone that can thrive in a fast-paced environment. And what a new thing as far as you brought up driver managers, as far as training is concerned.
Yeah.
A new thing, like I said, we started on the tail end of 2024, bleeding it into 2025 and on, is when we have new driver managers in training, DMITs is what we call them. we're starting to bring them in and conduct pretty much a one-on-one classroom session with our new people. In the past, we've brought in new driver managers. We've sat them with a DM right off the bat immediately and said, okay, hey, this is your trainer, go to work.
Yeah.
What I'm starting to do is bring these new DMs in, give them a basic solid foundation of the job. Okay. This is our computer system. This is how you set your email up. This is how you organize your day. These are the things you need to look at first and foremost. I train them on hours of service, train them on customer service, how to communicate. And it may seem very basic, but a lot of people come in here and a lot of them are young, fresh out of school and whatnot. They have not worked in a fast-paced environment like this. So I can tell you just from the number of DMs we've had come in since we've been doing this, by the time they go sit with their actual DM trainer, they're already 5 steps, 10 steps ahead of the game. And it makes that training experience much more enjoyable. And they have a leg up when they go and start at their actual training. And it's done wonders for us.
Wonderful training here at Stevens in all departments. So who would be your ideal candidate? We're talking everything right now. Well, this podcast, someone might have found this looking for a job. What is the education requirement? What type of references do they need? What age group? Tell me, if you could hire your perfect DM, who are we looking for?
Obviously, I need someone who's empathetic, first and foremost. Dependable, reliable.
Why empathetic? Because of our drivers and their tough situations that they're in, and sometimes
absolutely,
yeah,
you have to be empathetic, and on all sorts. It's not just empathetic with the drivers, but your colleagues as well, right?
Fast paced.
Okay, you got to be able to move and shake. You got to be able to prioritize,
project manage.
Absolutely. And as far as age is concerned, man, I will take someone with 30 years experience. I will take someone fresh out of school. And
any degree required?
We typically look for a 4-year degree, but we've brought in people that don't necessarily have a degree. I mean, experience counts for a lot. Sure. I mean, you can have that piece of paper, but if you got, 5-10 years experience or whatever under your belt, some of these guys run circles around these other guys.
How about that? See, so it's pretty broad stroke, pretty wide open. Anybody that really wants to work for a company that's lasted over 40 years.
I've said it every time. This is a great company to work for. Everyone puts in an equal amount of effort. And I would tell you, Stevens has taken care of me. It'll be my 7-year anniversary coming up.
Awesome.
And I can tell you one thing. I've worked for other carriers. The family in this office, just as much as we are, if not more.
That's true.
And they put in their blood, sweat, and tears to this place. And they genuinely, the Aarons care about this business. They care about everybody in this building. And they care a lot about our drivers. So great place to work. And they've never let me down since I've been here.
7 years with Stevens Transport, ICDMOL. That's independent contractor, driver, manager, operations lead.
That's a mouthful. But
That's a mouthful, but he does all of that. Matt Witt, good to see you, buddy. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Ever wondered what it's like to drive across the country and get paid to see America's breathtaking landscapes? Welcome to life as a team driver with Stevens Transport. The life of a trucker can sometimes feel solitary, but with team driving, you're never alone. Let's dive into how teaming up with another driver can transform your trucking career. So what exactly is team driving? Simply put, it's when 2 drivers share the responsibilities of operating the same truck. This allows for continuous travel and efficient delivery. Federal regulations require solo drivers to be off-duty for at least 10 consecutive hours after 11 hours of driving. Team driving, however, maximizes productivity by alternating driving shifts, cutting down on overall trip times. By working in shifts, team drivers can cover over 5,500 miles a week. That's more than double what solo drivers can achieve, leading to more priority loads and higher earnings. Efficiency is key. With 2 drivers, tasks like loading and unloading become quicker and easier. Plus, you'll earn more per mile. One of the greatest perks? You get to choose your driving partner, whether it's a close friend or a new acquaintance. Having a partner on the road makes those long hauls more enjoyable. And what about rest? Team drivers sleep in comfy bunk beds while the truck is moving, allowing for nearly non-stop travel without sacrificing sleep. Safety is another major advantage. With 2 drivers, there's an added layer of oversight to ensure committed safety. So, if you're ready to take your trucking career to the next level, consider team driving with Stevens Transport. It's the perfect blend of companionship, efficiency, and increased earnings. Explore the benefits of team driving and start your adventure today with Stevens Transport. Apply now and join a team that drives you to success.
Now more than ever, truck drivers are true American heroes. The men and women who literally keep America moving by delivering goods across the country. Being a professional driver is a rewarding, financially lucrative, long-term career filled with exciting adventures. A career where you'll never have to worry about job security. If you have your CDL and keep it up, it will sustain you for the long haul. You can see the country, serve your country, and provide a good life for your family. Whether you'd rather haul on a dedicated route or lane, or prefer working with one specific customer, if you want to own your business, we have a program that sets you up for success with all the tools and support you need. We've got opportunities in our intermodal rail division and have programs to help military veterans transition into trucking careers. We have second generations of drivers whose parents have driven for Stevens, who then trained their children and are now truck drivers. Some are even small fleet owners. So, whatever your dream is, you can achieve it right here at Stevens. If you're looking for a company with a 40-plus year track record that's never had a layoff and just had the largest pay increase in company history for both new and experienced drivers, Stevens Transport has you covered. We offer the finest tools and technology and provide our drivers with the best state-of-the-art equipment on the market. Our infrastructure will support you both on and off the road. As a driver for Stevens, you become part of our family. Many companies throw the word family around. We're family-owned, family-run, and family-driven. Our 40-plus years of success is built on family. At Stevens, you're not just a number. Our drivers are part of our extended family, and we recognize and honor them every chance we get. If you want to be among the top income earners among professional drivers, if you want great benefits, if you want to have every type of driving opportunity at your fingertips, if you want to be part of a company that will stand behind you and ensure your success, come join the Stevens Transport family today and become an American hero. So, what are you waiting for? Take the first step toward your future career with the best trucking company in America. Become part of the Stevens Transport family today by calling our recruiting department at 1-800-333-8595 or apply online at stevenstransport.com.
Welcome back to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. My name is Tim Cicciarelli, otherwise known as Trucker Tim, and thanks so much for letting me sit shotgun with you today. Hey, listen, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, download, or follow this podcast from whichever podcast platform you're enjoying it from. We are everywhere. This podcast can be found on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Amazon Music, you name it. If it's a podcast platform, the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast is there. Please hit that follow, subscribe, and download button. It will help us to continue to bring you all the information you need to know what's going on at Stevens Transport. And for those of you who might be looking for a new career in transportation, and we hope this podcast will help you become familiar with the culture at Stevens, because we would love to have you become a part of our team. We certainly are proud to have this driver as a part of our team. This driver shares insights into his journey as a truck driver, from earning his CDL to transitioning to a driver in the contractor division. He offers advice for those starting out in the industry and reflects on the motivations and tips that he received as an aspiring driver. This is the story of Devin Dean.
My name is Devin Dean. I'm with the contractor division with Stevens Transport. Been OTR over 3 years, going on 4 years. I got my CDL December of 2019. It was around the time COVID was just starting up, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. Everybody were starting to work from home, jobs were closing, and I got a call from Stevens Transport, apparently out the blue. I don't even know how it happened, it just happened. I got a call. Yeah, I was in the process of losing my place and everything, and they ended up calling me, saying that they see that I have been inquiring about driving trucks. I guess from my recent searches online, I probably did fill out a short form somewhere that made them call me, but it was perfect time and it was right on point, right on time, and it saved me. It just made more sense. The same miles that I would do for a load, I would get paid more doing it as a contractor than I would do as a company driver, and it just made more sense. You know, I don't really have too many things at home holding me back, like kids or marriage or anything, so I stayed out on the road for my whole first year. Didn't go home not one time. Stayed out there the whole entire. It was exciting, for one, to see so many parts of the country I thought I would never see. So that was one of the things that made me become a contractor. When you start driving as a new driver, save your money, because down the line, it's no telling what might come up against you. So you want to be prepared for all of these things. Every day is a blessing. This is something I never thought I would do or had any experience in, so of course I had hiccups along the way, like most drivers do when you first start out with something new. You know, you're gonna mess up here and there, and the fact that I'm still here, that the people at this company could see where I'm coming from and see where I came from and still work with me to make sure I can get better instead of just disregarding me and just letting me just flow with the wind. It feels good. It feels good, and I'm thankful every day.
Again, that's audio you can find from a video at our Stevens Transport YouTube channel. We'll have a link to that video in the episode notes. Ever since this podcast started, we have been tipping the big 10-gallon Stevens cap in appreciation for a job well done to our drivers who cross that 1,000,000-mile mark and become Hall of Famers, and to our employees with promotions and those who have received an award for a job well done. So it has been a pleasure to get to say hello and congratulate some of our rising stars, including the one sitting here in front of me right now, Miss Catherine Sutton. Congratulations, Catherine.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today.
It's an honor to have you here. How long have you been with Stevens Transport?
I've been here about a year and a half.
About 18-ish months or so at the time of this recording, and you are in accounting?
Correct. Yes, I work in the accounting department.
You're a numbers girl, aren't you?
I am. I do play with a lot of numbers daily. Yeah.
And so the accounting team down there, they're a lively bunch?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we keep it fun and fresh over there.
You kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You get real stuck behind the numbers, and
Yeah, after a while, numbers are only so much fun.
Yeah.
So have you always been an accountant?
I've been in accounting for about the last 10 years. So
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so what brought you to Stevens Transport?
Actually, funny story. I was just browsing jobs and I got a call from Molly, who found my resume.
Mhm.
So I wasn't even really looking, and I got a phone call, and here I am.
Wow.
Oh.
Very cool. So Molly Aaron found you
Yes, she did.
and said, come on over here.
Yeah. She said, we have an opening that might fit you. Would you like to come in for an interview? And I said, sure. So
Did you have to relocate, or are you from this area?
No, I'm actually about 30 minutes southeast of here.
Mhm.
Just a real small town, so it's not far at all.
Always a Texas girl your whole life?
No, actually, I was born in California,
Where?
right outside Orange County.
Me too.
No way.
Yeah. Which town outside of Orange County?
A really tiny town.
I'll know
called Los Alamitos.
Los Alamitos.
Yes.
Roland Heights for me, if you know Roland
Wow.
Heights. Do you really?
Interesting.
Wow, very cool. Another Cali person over here. I love it.
I was only there for a couple years, so it was really little. But yeah, that's.
Do you remember any of it at all? Orange
No,
County, you must have
no.
gone to Disneyland, I'm guessing.
I did actually. I actually did. My mom took me. I was very little, but I don't remember it. I was so little, I don't remember it.
Oh, wow. Have you been back since?
No, we actually took our kids to Disney
World, yes.
Yeah, a year ago, spring break.
Tell us about your kids.
I have 3 girls, 11, 7, and 3.
11. What an age
Yeah.
range for
I know.
3 girls. You are a busy mama.
I am. They're all about 4 years apart. They
Mhm.
definitely keep me busy. They're a handful, but I love them a bunch.
How do you spend time with them? What do y'all like to do?
We like to travel, so we love taking the
Disney
kids
World?
to do, just about everything we can to take them to do. Golfing. They like mini golf, so
Great.
anytime we can get out of the house, play mini golf. We love to go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
They are all the hype. If they can't see it on the TV, they want to go see it in person. I think.
Who do they like right now? What's their thing? Like what type of movies? With the Marvel stuff or other things?
No. So we actually just saw the live action Lion King.
I saw it last weekend,
Yeah,
actually.
and they really, really enjoyed
It was really
that.
good,
So,
wasn't it?
Yes. So they like that.
Very cool.
And Moana 2, right just before that.
All the rage for sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, it's so great to get to know you a little bit personally. We've done this podcast for, a few years now. We've never crossed paths. So we just wanted to invite you in here and congratulate you on being a rising star. Was that a big surprise for you when you found out about that?
Yes, it was a very big shock.
How'd that come to be?
I had no idea. Just found out the night of the Christmas party. They called my name and I said, oh, here we go.
And you walked up there and did the whole thing?
There, shook the hands, took the pictures, and walked away. I was like,
wow.
Okay.
So, what would that feel like then? That's that your first award here at Stevens Transport?
It is. That was actually my first award here. Being here a little over 18 months, I didn't expect it. So it was a shock, but I'm glad that I'm recognized for the work that I do.
That's voted on by your coworkers and your peers and your superiors and everything else. So that must have felt really great and really validating for you.
It did. It absolutely did. It just ensured me that I'm in the right place.
Love it. Well, we love that you're here. Congratulations. It's nice to meet you, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Well, let's pump the brakes in episode 131 of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. Please remember to follow, subscribe, like, download, and share this podcast from whichever podcast platform you're enjoying it from, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Audible, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. We are everywhere. And we would certainly appreciate it if you were to share this with someone else inside the industry so they too can learn about how awesome it is to work at Stevens Transport. My name is Tim Cicciarelli, otherwise known as Trucker Tim. And until next time, please be safe out there. And thank you so much for listening to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast.